What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Invitational. This is going to be a winner's bracket final game, best of 3 between ScaryFaceZ and 4 Clovers and Leprechaun. As it stands right now, both these teams have won something like €2,000, and they're going to be fighting for just a little bit more, up to 6K for first place, so they are fighting for quite a bit of cash, and I'd say these teams pretty evenly matched. I'm Mike Loriskin, one of your casters for today. HeflaTV is also on the line. What do you think about these two teams, dude?
Well, interesting to be honest. You know why? Because yesterday they had in another tournament, talk about ScaryFaceZ. In another tournament they had a match and it was going like up and down. I heard or I saw people writing in our chat about that game, so it was really messy. I know a lot of people that bet items were pretty upset, and I know ScaryFaceZ is a team that can definitely upset. As for 4 Clovers, it kind of reminds me from the style of the team like Meepawn, where you put a lot of random free agents together without a crazy storyline whatsoever. But all of them have great potential. If they find synergy in this team, it's a team with nice potential, I have to say.
Yeah, the potential for 4 Clovers has been a little bit shaky, perhaps. They've been doing some amazing things, and other times just like, 4 Clovers, what the hell are you guys doing? You should know better than that. But yeah, we'll see which this game is going to be, if it's going to be any of those at all. We got Tusk being banned out first. It's a little bit of a shame. I always love watching that hero. But Leshrac first, pick 4 Clovers, and ScaryFaceZ grab Undying Winter Wyvern. As supports, well, maybe you want to have someone different, but Winter Wyvern support, Undying as a little bit more of a farmer. It's a pretty solid way to start.
Yeah. By the way, but I just popped in my mind. Wii is now 8K MMR. Are you jelly?
I don't give two shits about Wii's MMR.
Oh, come on. 8K is something. Jesus. Like, MMR is so shit nowadays. Pushing MMR, Jesus, you have to spend so much time.
It's like MMR inflation. Like, what the hell? All these 1K scrubs are becoming like 500 scrubs.
Oh, you're saying like inflation is the reason I drop in my MMR so badly at the moment?
Yeah, you're still at the same skill level, just it's, you know.
Oh, come on! Like, I lost 1,400 MMR. That's not inflation, that's fucking Black Friday.
You're Zimbabwe. You're the Zimbabwe of Dota.
Oh, shut up. No, I really have to push it. Anyway, so my Bugattis would definitely be on a 50-50 rusher here, because both teams definitely can do it. And now that we have, you already said it, Winter Wyvern, Undying for laning. If they both are in the tri-lane, for example, this is going to be horrible, because they can spam me out, like the Splinter Blast, the Decay. It's just amazing what they can do with it, the damage that's coming out, plus removing your HP, which means whenever you come back to that lane, it's just gonna be horrible. Not to mention that Tombstone is slowing you, Splinter Blast is slowing you, and whatever core is behind them, that should just be enough for any kill. So I don't want to face this.
Yeah, I mean, in lane it isn't really the most fun scenario to be, but that's pretty much just laning up against Undying. The weakness of running these two heroes as a support is that you become extremely CC light, so your CC has to come from your mid laner or from really anyone else, but your two supports. So it's along those lines I'm thinking why ScaryFaceZ are probably going to put the Winter Wyvern in the support position. That one's pretty much a given. Give Undying just a little bit more farm. Maybe grab a Spirit Breaker. I keep on saying like Spirit Breaker Undying is a thing, and sometimes it comes true. I don't remember what team it is that does that a lot, but it might be ScaryFaceZ, and I'm actually thinking about it a little bit closely. I'm pretty sure it is. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them run dual lanes, put Undying with Spirit Breaker, and then just try to really turn up the heat right now. Because if you're going up against 4 Clovers, yes, Shout even pretty good up against the Charge and the Nether Strike, but they're also very soft. Or you could go Bloodseeker, that's also pretty good.
Bloodseeker, it's the cancer hero of this meta, to be honest.
It's not that bad.
Oh no, yes, it's that bad. The only good thing about it that he doesn't come with a lot of armor and a relatively low HP pool for what he does, so unless he really gets all his spells off, has a Plate Mail on or a BKB, something around those lines, you can actually nuke him down really fast. But talking about nukes, at the moment there's not much coming out from 4CL. We have a combination Shadow Demon plus Dazzle. That means we have the illusions plus the hero surrounding a target, maybe into a follow-up stun by the Leshrac or whatever else we're gonna get, plus the Shadow Wave, which is amazing burst for the laning stage. But this is kind of diminishing the longer the game goes, so I'm not so sure if this is something, I don't know, you really want to bench on. And talking about burst damage, even more ScaryFaceZ now with the Zeus. This is going to be horrible. Plus the Zeus has the easiest game of his life, because you can see whatever is actually in the range to be killed with your ultimate, thanks to the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, you get a little mini combo with the Vision and the Zeus ultimate there, which is pretty sweet. But ScaryFaceZ, they're going for, like as I said, these like pretty interesting, pretty cute tactics is the word I would use to describe it. They're really lacking the CC, and if you look at what 4 Clovers have as defensive responses, well, Shadow Demon has unconditional point click, you're now safe. So does Dazzle with his Shallow Grave. So someone like a Bloodseeker who excels at, isolating the target, going and getting the kill, and then bouncing to the next target is really going to be slowed down by the fact that he has to go through these defensive heroes. Granted, these defensive heroes also kind of fall off, like similar to what I was talking about with the Undying and Winter Wyvern. But if ScaryFaceZ don't actually get these kills very quickly, if they don't manage to kill off the Leshrac, then Leshrac is going to get so much extra survivability, and he won't be controlled by the ScaryFaceZ side. Right now, they have a mini stun and lightning bolt, and the ultimate from Winter Wyvern, and that's it.
Yep. Well, pretty much, yeah. Sustained damage is not so sure, but then again, look on the other side, 4CLs. Like, how do they get actually a tombstone down right now? Like, I just don't see it happening in an early clutch fight. It kind of depends what we get. The longer this game goes, if we have a core that will actually take over and then sort of put some dominance up. At the moment, it's a Spirit Breaker, so this all comes down to a lot of early fighting. I mean, look at this. Both teams, this game might be done within
10 seconds
less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, if it's not done by then, it's probably going to be decided by then, and then it's just, the matter of picking off the stragglers, pushing in the base and whatnot. Both sides looking for a heavy amount of brawling, and, well, both sides have a lot of flexibility in how their lanes are actually going to go down. Bambo gets the, sometimes we'll get the breaker for 4 Clovers, although they could very easily give it to one of their supports and then do that, but this game definitely seems like a Bambo game for the Spirit Breaker, so expect him on the off lane. As a pick versus what ScaryFaceZ have, having someone who is just naturally super tanky is really what you want up against the, kind of slim sustained damage from the ScaryFaceZ side. If they don't burst down Spirit Breaker, and it's hard to do so, then they will have to go through the Dazzle and Shadow Demon.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I don't like these drafts because I have no idea who's actually going to prevail if the dust settles, because the laning is going to be full of kills. Mid game is going to be full of kills just because of all those nukes and crazy cluster fights that come out. But like, who is going to prevail? And I think the 5th picks make that happen. At the moment, we have one candidate that can actually scale a bit into late game, or decently into late game. That's the Bloodseeker. On the other side, we have Leshrac, and there it is. There's the Phantom Lancer. So finally, we get some substance into this draft. So that's for one. For ScaryFaceZ, the question is now, do we see 4CL having pretty much the same pick, like a 5th one?
They go for a Wind Ranger, I think. I'm calling it right now.
Wind Ranger?
I'm calling it right now. You just wait and see, dude.
Okay. Why would you say Wind Runner?
Just trust in the predictions. Let's go over what ScaryFaceZ picked up. The Phantom Lancer is going to be that sustained damage output. The mana burn, especially, or once he gets the Feasible Blade, is going to be huge. And well, I mean, he isn't really under that much pressure unless 4 Clovers want to make an offensive tri-lane. I suppose they actually can 4 Clovers do that. Put 3 heroes in the top lane, Leshrac tri-lane, try to get some kills. But yeah, pressuring the Phantom Lancer is definitely going to be on the top of the list for 4 Clovers to do.
I just don't think it comes out because of the HP pool. I mean, Winter Wyvern, Undying, Bloodseeker, and Zeus, plus some lances flying away.
I was close, dude.
Okay,
I was close.
I mean, HP-wise, the Clinks is even worse, to be honest. Wagamama is going to pick this one up. The only good thing is he can actually pick off Winter Wyvern, Zeus, even Phantom Lancer with Orchid pretty nicely. I'm not so sure about the rest, and I'm not so sure how fast he can build up an HP pool to actually survive this burst, because, I don't know, Lightning Bolt, Arc Lightning, Ultimate, some random damage whatsoever, and usually a Clinks is pretty much down in seconds. Till minute, I don't know, when he gets some decent items up. So this is, I don't know. The HP pool of the heroes is not big enough for what kind of burst and crazy spells we have on this pitch.
Yeah, especially when you consider the fact that mid lane options up against where I assume the Clinks is going to go, not really great. Although they're actually going to put the Leshrac in the mid lane, so I guess that's not really going to be a problem. It's a Clinks tri-lane. Now that's interesting stuff, but We're loading out into game 1, guys. It's going to be Bambo playing the offlane Spirit Breaker. Wee is playing the Leshrac, maybe towards mid. Waga is playing the Clinks, being supported by EGM's Dazzle and Vangscore's Shadow Demon. I don't think I've seen a tri-lane like this ever before.
Yep. I mean, we saw something like it, or similar things actually coming out by Balkan Bears, where also Wee was involved, where we had like surprising drafts, surprising tri-lanes all the time. Which side did you introduce, by the way? Because I was chatting with...
for Clovers, man. Pay attention.
Pay attention, okay.
Fire you and get someone else.
On the other side, on the Phantom line, so we have Quista playing, well, safe lane solo, that looks like. Shadow is on that Undying. We have Ramses playing the Bloodseeker, Stade is playing the Zeus, and last but not least, the one who's rotating in mid is Agnod at the moment on that Winter Wyvern.
Ooh, Wagamama with the smooth plays. They never expect the skeleton walk steal. Mostly because, well, usually don't play against Clinks all that often as these teams. But in Bounty Rune, it's, of course, a nice gain for the Clinks, but it's not going to be game-ending. What is going to be game-ending is if they lose this lane. Usually we see Clinks in a solo lane. That's where he goes. You have an offensive tri-lane, you put Clinks on the safe lane, and then he dominates that one because Searing Arrows are OP up against any one other target. But in this situation, when he's up against a Bloodseeker and an Undying, yeah, the already fragile Clinks is going to get even more so. 435 max HP, not fun.
Absolutely not fun, but yeah, getting the double bounty rune there, it's absolutely nice. But now, look at the Undying going super aggressive against Wagamama, but in the mid we already had the harass coming out, the Zeus versus Vensko, and then we coming in easy going. I did not expect this one.
And I was watching Eknart snipe the courier because I knew that that was going to happen. I did not expect Stade to die, and that is just a small taste of things to come for this Zeus. I expected, I mean, with their last pick before Clovers to be someone for the mid lane, to put the Leshrac with the 2 combo heroes, but this is a pretty sweet combo in and of itself, just set up into stun, and if you have any sort of setup into any sort of stun in Dota, usually you're going to be alright, and Zeus isn't exactly a tanky hero either. Like, he's a little bit tankier than the Clinks, but that's not really saying that much. If he gets put into a bubble a single time, then he doesn't really have the mobility to get out of there, he doesn't really have anyone to come and help him. This Zeus is just going to die if he gets disrupted.
This is quite insane, to be honest. This mid, first I thought like, okay, Vensko is just gonna stick around, maybe 1 kill and stuff, but at the moment it's just a dual mid. They're just gonna zone out that Zeus. He has nothing. Like, he has 4 CS at the moment, which he was able to grab with Arc Lightning, but that's pretty much about it.
And, well, I guess Bambo not having a great time either, but we do have action on the bottom lane. Ramsey's taking a lot of chip damage from Wagamama. As these levels come up, Searing Arrows, I mean, it is bottom line to Clinks up against 2 melee heroes, so the spam is going to be real. Wagach has to be very careful not to get too close. If he gets punched once, man, does it hurt. But Ramses is kind of more than happy to take this harassment as long as he's able to last hit occasionally with that Blood Rage on. And, well, Shadowy now getting into a fight with EGM, getting really close to Ramses for the heal bomb. It will maybe be enough to kill off this Bloodseeker. He's going to survive for a little while longer. Here comes Vangscore, going to put his buddy in a bubble. Now Shadow taking the Searing Arrows. He is going to get one more decay off, and he will survive because of it. No, wait, Bloodseeker did die to the poison in the end, so delayed kill, but a kill nonetheless for 4 Clovers.
Yep, that was pretty nice. Vensko's rotation at the moment. This guy is full value at the moment for 4CL. Getting that Zeus kill, and now making sure that the Dazzle doesn't die and doesn't end up in a 1-1 trade. Getting the Bloodseeker at the moment. The harass before was real. The finisher was even better. So yeah, nice stuff for Wagamama. That's what they also need to do, because Wagamama needs a head start in this game. Otherwise he will just suffer. But at the moment they do exactly the right thing. Oh, in the mid. Zeus going down again. He dies so fast. This is insane.
Bambo not in a great place either. He does have charge though. He has some ability to get out of there. I saw Zeus get his HP chunked down once. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to be too late to see this. He just dies so quickly. But Wagamama is running low on mana, and without any Ring of Aquila or anything like that, that will be expected in this lane. But Ramsey's actually really quick right now. He's going to go right into the Clinks, but the heal is there. Now Ramsey's bit off way more than he can chew. He's going to get charged up, so there is reinforcements incoming, but is it actually going to be
He's dying from poison.
No, it looks like... Oh, he's dying to the poison. Wow.
Yes. The Dazzle, it's absolutely amazing. It does like, what, 60 damage or something like that, and he was on 55. So the last tick was 3 HP over, I think.
Well, the charge is still coming in. Shadowy standing right next to the creep, gets hit by the bash, and if he gets 17% roll, that will be a kill. Maybe they don't even need it. There is soul up to keep Shadowy alive right now, turns around for a decay. Ramses is back, going straight for Wagamama. Bambo and EGM swarmed with zombies. This should be a double kill for Ramses. There's one. I guess the other kill goes to the Undying. That's fine as well. And now he sees Wagamama, who did break his invis, but not enough movement speed on the Bloodseeker to chase that one down. ScaryFaceZ get 2 kills on this bottom lane. Took them quite a long time, but already this Dazzle going for a little bit more of an offensive build. This is not the build you would expect from a Dazzle, especially when you have a Shadow Demon on the same team.
Yeah, super aggressive, but it's all in the mid. We have the same thing happen the third time, and Power, there's the stun, but the stun is missing. We completely whiffed it now. He's trying to turn around, but the right click should still be enough. One more, no. He was actually able to bottle that one up, but yeah, that stun missing, that's of course bad news.
I mean, it is going to be really, really close every single time. If there was one more lightning there from the Leshrac, that would have been a kill, especially with the amp from the Shadow Demon. But hey, you can't land them all, and still you put the Fear of God into state 21. 21 CS on him. He's actually doing a lot better than I really would expect up against this instant kill dual lane. But yeah, Zeus has got to be really, really careful. At a certain point, I think he's probably just going to go Split Earth and Lightning, but this tower is under slow and steady pressure that the Zeus really can't push back. And again, the Zeus isn't really going to get any help anytime soon.
Oh, and just Bamboo had a little one-on-one versus that PL. He was hoping for his 70% chance to bash, but it was 17 after all. So he took quite some HP down there. And yeah, he's going back to the base. He's level 3, so it would be enough to roam at this point. But of course, you want to be level 6 or grabbing a level 6 in the offline, then go, and that should usually be able to happen in like 6 minutes. Oh, in the mid, we go again. The stun this time is hitting. There's the lightning. It should be enough to get them before the rotations come in. Winter Wyvern is there. Splinter Blast on someone. No, it's not even gonna connect, and it would not be enough.
And on bottom lane as well, Bloodright Circle is on the ground. Tombstone is there as well, but they're going to disengage cleanly. Now here comes the Spirit Breaker, charging through onto Shadowy. Should get the kill on the Undying, and he's on top of Ramses right now. Although Ramses has Stick and a Salve, he's going to survive. Shadowy not going to be as lucky. There goes the Undying. Ramses is going to slip away, and he will salve up. Tombstone will be cleaned up, and no one on 4 Clovers is going to die on this bottom lane just yet. But man, that Zeus kill, like we've said it already, it is such an easy and fast kill. But what led up to that was Zeus teleporting in because he had to go base. So he teleported in straight to a disruption, straight to a Split Earth, and now he has to walk back because his TP is on cooldown. And look who's here waiting for him. Bangscore with a combo ready, we with all the mana in the world, and Eknart with not really the ability to help out State. Oh, Blood.
He will again die from the poison.
Poison touch? Okay, this time it's not going to do it. Bambo. Deep behind enemy lines right now, but no CS. He's actually going to charge towards the mid lane where there is a disruption set up on the poor Zeus again. Split Earth, nowhere near connecting, but it doesn't matter. The burst is there. Now the charge onto Eknart as well. I don't know if they're going to get this kill quickly, but they're going to get it eventually, probably. Bash, one more hit. There it is. Bambo eating tower shots the entire time. Here comes the Bloodseeker straight into a stun, and he actually doesn't have an HP. What?
Oh, God.
Did Ramses forget that he had a low HP pool? What was that?
He thought he's gonna get a quick kill there. I don't know, maybe even healing up on it, but like TPing right in there in a perfect setup, stun by we. That was really, really bad. So at the moment, SFC, they're just throwing themselves into 4CL's arms, and they're totally happy with it. I mean, we're 7 minutes into this game. We're on 11 kills and a courier snipe. Like, the draft already promised us a lot of action, and we actually getting delivered.
And when you're a Leshrac, this is like the dream scenario. Not only are you getting a lot of CS and a lot of kills, but you're not even like trying for the kills. They're just being delivered to you because the enemy team are just constantly throwing themselves at you. So we doesn't have to leave the lane. He's sticking in there, and he's level 8 right now. His burst combo is for the most part maxed out, and for ScaryFaceZ, even though Shadow Demon may not always be there, this Leshrac, if he lands a stray Split Earth, and that's a lot easier now considering the AoE of the skill, then that could very easily be a Leshrac getting a solo kill. And then at that point, you can't put one hero on the mid lane, you need several heroes there, and well, then the Shadow Demon's going to arrive. So this is going really well for 4 Clovers in the mid lane. Bot lane is going decently as well. Top lane, Quista is getting a ton of farm as the Phantom Lancer, but that's to be expected. No real pressure being applied there. We have a charge out towards the bottom lane, it looks like. Bangscore right on top of Ramses. Charge is coming in, but it's all the way from top, and that's not going to connect. Not in a million years. So yeah, this Phantom Lancer really the only thing that's going really well for ScaryFaceZ.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation, or getting the rotation out was okay-ish, but to be honest, I think going for the Bloodseeker ultimate right there on a tier 1 tower, knowing that there are reinforcements coming, that was kind of an interesting move anyway. So 4 Clovers say at the moment, okay guys, we go for the tower push. After all, they have 2 very, very significant tower pushers, or like siege damage heroes. That is, of course, one with the Edict, and the second one now with the Searing Arrow. So whenever they reach level 11, 12, those spells will be maxed on both heroes, I mean. So they can easily rush through towers after they win a fight, and that's the scary part. That's where 4CL actually has the better draft till a certain point in the game, because they can capitalize way faster on their kills.
And honestly, with the amount of brawling in this game, you would expect ScaryFaceZ to have at least a slight edge, just because they have, well, they have Undying, they have a Zeus. These are good heroes for skirmishing pre-20 minutes, but 4 Clovers is definitely a much better position than one would really expect, and I think that's because ScaryFaceZ is just, well, first of all, underestimating their tankiness occasionally in the mid lane, but also just constantly getting caught by this laning by 4 Clovers. Give anyone a couple of guesses, and they probably wouldn't guess dual lane mid. It's not something you see unless there's an IO involved generally, but working pretty darn well for 4 Clovers thus far. Maybe bottom lane, though, we're going to see some action. EGM, he has a Grave and he has a TP, and there's no stuns on the enemy side, so even though they can very easily bring this Dazzle down to 1 HP, they can't kill him off. Wog is a different story. They're going to try to go for EGM, actually. There's a Shadow Wave, there's the Grave, there's the TP. He's just going to peace out. Maybe the Zeus gets some lightning damage from his ultimate. No, Zeus has actually no ultimate available.
Nope, it's just not happening. He has no mana whatsoever. He's on the way back to the fountain. And, well, he got some farm off it. They also stacked out the jungle. I'm not really sure for who that stack is, to be honest. It might even be for the Zeus himself. Well, I don't know, the PL, since he got now a Morbid Mask, he could actually farm it. But let's see what's going on bottom here, because Vansko is so aggressive with the haste rune. It's that guy so far has been responsible at least for half of the kills we see on the scoreboard.
303 on this Shadow Demon, now hitting level 6. I guess having a Shadow Demon get a huge kill streak, not that great, just because he is prone to dying. And you would rather, of course, have it on someone like your Leshrac. Although Leshrac did get his dues quite a bit as well. Up towards top, Wee's actually rotated, and he is just by himself pushing the wave. Edict level 1, not exactly the most impressive pushing tool, but does get the job done, and 4 Clovers can also split push because of it, or just pick fights, because we have a disruption on the bottom lane. Curse is there as well. There is not that much follow-up, however. The Tombstone does drop with State coming in. It will be 4 Clovers on the retreat, but they actually have 2 TPs incoming. One gets canceled. Shadowy still is charged. Will they actually go for this one? He has 2 stacks of Shadow Poison. No, looks like the charge is canceled.
Yep, that's actually 3 in lane. 1 has been charged there, and just 1 rotation coming out by the Zeus. In the end, nothing's gonna happen, which is kind of impressive. But Wee's at the moment getting some nice uptime here. He's alone, but he also has to be careful because, yeah, there's a Lance flying in, and there's the Winter Wyvern. There's 1 rotation because the Bloodsucker is coming in. And look at this, there's the Winter's Curse, and yeah, that should just do the trick. Wee definitely going down, even after he got that Earth Split out.
Yeah, it's still a Shrek with, I mean, he is pretty tanky right now, but up against that many heroes, just not going to happen. Especially when you're frozen mid-split Earth cast. Pretty well timed by the Winter Wyvern, although I don't really know if that would matter too much. They do pick off the Zeus 4 Clovers in the mid lane. 0, 5, and 1. This Zeus is so unhappy in this game, but man, that's a big kill on this Leshrac. If they could, well, if Wee is constantly putting himself in a bad position, then ScaryFaceZ, if they can capitalize, that is a great way to come back into this game. But again, as long as Quista isn't dying, he is farming. He's actually taking down a top lane tower as well as the Undying getting a bottom lane deny. So the Phantom Lancer getting quite a bit of cash, and with the Boots of Travels, his farm is going to be relatively hard to stop for Clovers. You're going to get into a fight down towards bottom. Here comes lightning damage from Dazzle. He's going to be burst down, no problem whatsoever. Really wanted that Tombstone down, and it costed him.
Yeah, well, to be honest, the Tombstone at the moment gets baited out quite often. I mean, even though this ended up in a Dazzle kill, but before that, he threw out a Tombstone twice just to, you know, make sure his retreat is completely safe. And every time Vargas sees a Tombstone at the moment, he's like, that's nice. That's 90 gold at least, and I think on the next level is even 150 gold for the Tombstone you get on a level 4. So it's tasty gold, actually.
Yeah, when you have Searing Arrows and Strafe, like, ideally you would, of course, want to be hitting towers, but hey, killing off a free mini tower for yourself, that's not too bad either, as long as it doesn't cost you that much. We have a rotation up towards top. Looks like 3 heroes, 3 very potent heroes as well, looking for some blood. They're looking for Quista, but Quista is, unfortunately for the 4 Clovers side, nowhere to be found, and if he were to be found, he has backup and then some. They actually have found Bank Score. Lance is going to be dodged by the disruption. Now here comes the charge. Off from the left side, going to connect on Eknart and Quista both. Tombstone, however, does drop, as does the Blood Right. That'll force everyone to back off right now. Ramsey's going to rupture up Bambo. Wee's up on the high ground, though. He has a lot of options now to throw his skills, but he's going to miss the first split earth. Now Bambo going to die before he gets the Nether Strike out. Actually, it might have connected on Ramsey's, but it didn't really do that much. Wee has been up on this high ground for the entire time. Throws a lightning onto 2, but it's a nice position to have on your Leshrac if the entire enemy team is right in this circle, not right in this circle.
No, but I definitely like what they do. First of all, I like the ward positioning at the moment. They have one like really traditional site here on the top rune, and also one in the lane. So all this rotation was completely seen by FSZ, and they did, I think, the right thing. Like the tombstone on the high ground. So whenever someone comes on that high ground, they will just be swarmed by zombies. Plus, you have the AoE by the Bloodseeker, which means you run directly into your own silence. And the funny part is, and that's where SFZ's lineup is pretty strong for high ground defense, whenever you are not committing to this push and you're on your way back, if then suddenly the Bloodseeker ultimate, the Rupture, is on you, then you're kind of screwed. Because you can choose between running away, losing tons of HP, and eventually getting killed by even the ranged abilities, they may be Lance, Lightning, whatsoever, or you choose to stand still, but then you also get tons of damage. So that's at the moment the biggest problem. The problem also is the Zeus again dying solo to Vagamama, and this is just a Vagamama with a Soul Ring, PTs, and an Aquila. So that should not happen at all.
Well, he's going to get a Mithril Hammer item login. They do have a charge. Actually, that jumped over to Eknart. He's slowed down. He's going to take to these skies, but I don't know if that's going to help him that much, especially when he's perma-stunned. Silent Circle does go down as the Soul Rip. Eknart's still alive for right now. Now Wog up against two melee heroes. Not where we want to be as Clinks. He's going to get the kill, but he will also die in the process. And now we and Bambo EGM all in a bad position. They have to disengage from this tombstone. They're trying to kill it off, but we're just going to get the hell out of there. Bambo now also going to charge out EGM. He's going to be chased down by Ramses, and does he have a TP? He does not, so EGM should be dying here. Looks like Vangscore and Bambo trying to rejoin him, although that's not going to happen. Ramses gets a killing spree, and he's going to chase forward for perhaps a little bit more. Now he's going to call it quits there, but yeah, that was good defensive play onto this Winter Wyvern. First of all, ScaryFaceZ is not doing a terrible job there, and if you're Clinks, and if you are ever in melee range of any melee hero, you're usually doing something wrong, and that's not a good place for Clinks to be.
Oh, the Zeus. Again, with the ultimate here. Oh, Jesus. The problem is, I think this is not even enough. I mean, they get the kill, but he might die on the way back because the Bloodseeker is already coming in. That's one, that's two, and that was absolutely not worth it. I mean, they really do everything to shut down that Zeus, but in the end, other heroes feed off it. I mean, this is, for example, what, a dominating streak for the Bloodseeker, plus a Midas rolling on him, so he's suddenly starting to get a lot of farm.
And ScaryFaceZ side in general getting just a lot of cash out of these slightly won skirmishes. Bloodseeker as well as that Phantom Lancer, who, 2 assists, not really fantastic, but for a PL, not bad either. And for Clovers, their tower destruction capabilities, very high, but the actual tower damage, 3 tier 1s for 16 minutes is actually pretty good, but it just seems like they need a little bit more right now, given how they started out with this game and how ScaryFaceZ are starting to recover. If ScaryFaceZ keep playing around this Rupture and keep, making some plays happen whenever they have the Winter Wyvern's curse, and if they keep avoiding these gangs from 4 Clovers, then they'll be in prime position. At this point, it's kind of okay for them if State dies, because that means that everyone else is going to be able to potentially reinforce that Zeus, and Zeus just has to jam his ultimate button before he goes down. It's not that hard.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. And you saw how fast Wagamama dies already when he's under focus, when he's just a tiny bit too ballsy. At the moment, he is going... Is that a Desolator build by the Clinks?
Well,
or
2
BKB.
Mental Hammers doesn't build into anything else, unless you go BKB into Desolator, which is obviously what he's doing. Well, Desolator,
I don't know,
more
like,
tower damage, man.
To be honest, no, I asked because I would feel comfortable with both items. At the moment, I think the Clinks with the BKB, given that a Searing Arrow by default does tons of damage, would actually be nice because he is protected against Winter Wyvern, Lancer, and Zeus. But the Desolator is, I think, the most common build we see at the moment on Clinkses. Is that the plural of Clinks? Clinkses?
Yes, I speak English, and you are correct. Desolator does help you do this, with minus 10 total armor on Roshan. Edict, well, now used, only level 1 still, but this is going to be a really, really fast Roshan, just, what, like 5 seconds maximum with a little bit of, juggling around and positioning. Leshrac now is a double life, and this is the time for 4 Clovers to push. Still, we only has 1 point Edict, which is a little bit unfortunate, but honestly, Clinks can take down towers by himself if you give him just a couple seconds, and he might actually blow the smoke. He does. Is there any dust? Oh, well, there is, but they don't use it. They want to go top lane, it seems. Now they throw some lightning, now they throw the dust. It's like they had a delayed reaction. They just realized that now they were revealed. Honestly, even if they use dust there, I don't know if they get that kill.
That was so delayed. Even if they used it instantly, he could have... I mean, that's the biggest problem about Skeleton Walk. Skeleton Walk is still damn fast, even with the dust applied. so he would have made it back to his team and then would have ended in an all-out fight. But they want to find some kills at the moment. ScaryFaceZ is pretty shattered, while we is working on that tower. The Edict now being level 2, working on the tower already. So they gotta be really careful. Wensko wants to make the setup, but he's taken a lot of damage already on the way of harassing. There's the tombstone. Let's get it going.
Oh, but Wagamama snipes the Undying immediately. Shout even puts himself in a bubble. The zombies will be cleaned off. Bankscore is still alive right now. Quista really wants to charge the high ground. He's going to throw a lance onto Wii right now, but they've already lost the Undying, and Tombstone is not in a good position unless they voluntarily fight into it. Here comes a charge on the state. Split Earth follow-up is there. Lightning as well. Not quite going to do the Zeus in just yet, but they haven't put themselves in a bad position. Now here comes Wagamama. 2 shots to snipe out the Zeus. Easy kills for the Klings. 3 shots to kill off Eknart, and Wagamama's making this Desolator work out really well. Charging forward onto Ramsey's Bambo. Is going to respect the tier 3 tower as well he should, but man, that Desolator from Wagamama killed off the Undying in like 4 shots, killed off the Zeus in 3. It's going overtime right now, and that's what happens when you also get time to Death Pact to creep before the fight starts. That's a tower destroyed at the very least. They could go for possibly a little bit more.
Yep, that's the crazy thing about Desolator. Like, searing, it's just so much damage. Like, it's not funny. Like with a Desolator, you instantly jump on like 5 levels higher as in damage. It's just totally crazy. You saw how they destroyed them. Well, it's a tier 2 tower down. It's not the end of the world. They still have to defend high ground, however, and the problem is that the tower already got like 30% damage, and now, well, they got Wensko. He's definitely down. The question is now, can they follow up on Wii? There is a silence. It might not hit. Actually, with that mini stun, it did the trick, and now he's just too low HP. That's the Aegis, and I think they just get the follow-up kill here. They got all it takes.
Wii is not going to stand a chance right now. Ramsey's though taking a lot of damage, to be fair, but healed up to full. They do, however, for Clovers get the kill on the Phantom Lancer, the first kill on him in the game. The amount of burst damage that Wog is doing right now, it's not that difficult considering, but
oh, the Dazzle.
Yeah, almost killed off by the Zeus ultimate, but he will limp back to the base. Nothing can actually kill him off now. You know, it's not the best trade, obviously, for 4 Clovers, losing their Leshrac, their Aegis, and the Shadow Demon, but killing off the Phantom Lancer, that's really big game, and they might get Eknart as well. Charge is going to connect. There's no Nether Strike, so Bambo needs to pray to the 17% gods to give him some luck, although that's probably not going to happen. Although here comes Waga, who has 100% all the time damage output. Look at that, easy.
That was, I don't know, like, big question mark for Eknart. I would never, ever expect the Spirit Breaker in a competitive match to come alone. There's always someone around, unless the Spirit Breaker is super ahead in a game, so that he went full aggressive on the Spirit Breaker just to try to get some harass damage in and then go back. That was a bit suicidal. He should have known that Wagamama is somewhere around the corner, and yeah, with the current Desolator Searing Arrow combination, plus if he has like a nice fed Death Pact on him running, he just, yeah, 4 shots, 5 shots here at this point.
That's like 300 damage an arrow from Wagamama, about, you know, I don't know, no math major, but something around those lines, and you really have to respect that damage output. I guess, yeah, I mean, it's just the Winter Wyvern dying. It's not the worst thing in the world. It doesn't even have the curse up right now, but the action's going to continue on this bottom lane. Even without this Aegis, they have so much tower killing potential, with now level 3 in the Edict, and ScaryFaceZ. I guess this is a slightly better position to fight, since there's no way that a Clinks can really flank them here, and if he did, then there would be a sentry there waiting for him, so it's slightly better positioning from ScaryFaceZ, but will it actually matter in the long run? It seems like 4 Clovers, they want to get a pick off before they actually go for any pushing, so they're going to back off right now. I think that's a good decision.
Oh, that's a nice illusion here that Wii does, and he micros it as well. Oh, there's a right click. Looks like an accidental right click. Do they actually go for it? The Zeus trying to scout out something. But oh, this is just amazing. But now they should know. No, they do not know. They actually think it's Wii, so they went for it. But oh my god,
Well, they got
GG.
it. That's a 100-second cooldown on the curse. Now's the time for 4 Clovers to push. Like, it's not exactly a pick off, but it's like they didn't really work hard for it, so it's probably good enough to go on. The tower pushing scenario, however, the creeps, they're not really in the best of positions, so it looks like that is probably not going to be punished, which is really good for Eknart, let's say, but BKB now up on the Clinks, pretty much one-shot bought that one, so Mythalhammers galore in his inventory, just needs the Maelstrom for the trifecta, and yeah, this guy is now hard to kill, even if you do get in melee range of the Clinks' Bloodseeker as Undying, he can stand his ground relatively well, and that goes double if EGM or the Shadow Demon are nearby to help him out.
Yeah, absolutely. If what ForestHill planned in the draft and in the laning, it completely worked out. Shutting down the Zeus and getting the Clinks to a point where he's unkillable. And to be honest, right now, we are at this point. Like, if he pops the BKB, I just don't see how they actually kill him. There's a smoke, well, but nobody is there. I think they saw the Clinks already.
Yeah, they were leading with the Clinks, which is generally what you want to do, but Winter Wyvern put a sentry ward as soon as the Clinks was in the area, and, well, no one actually was in any danger there, so it's a smoke that's not going to actually get many kills or really much action at all, but the tower is in prime pickings right now, and look at Bambo's positioning. This is not something you would expect from a Spirit Breaker. However, if you have a position like this with full ward coverage, if ScaryFaceZ decide to defend this tower, it looks like they don't, but if they do, you have a chance to set up for a charge that connects through 2-3 heroes, and that's just extra value.
What do you say about the minus on Spirit Breaker, by the way?
He got it not too slowly. I mean, it's 24 minutes. He's had it for quite a while, I think, so...
Yeah, he used it twice, I think, so he got it around 20 minutes, 21-ish.
Yeah, I mean, as far as heroes that you want to have farm, Spirit Breaker is a pretty good one with farm. If you grab an AC or something like that, it gets even more minus armor, then that'll be pretty ridiculous. Yeah. He's just a tank right now, and tanks with farm
I just thought maybe he can actually contribute to the team a tiny bit earlier. Like, imagine if he had now drums, for example, for the team, something else, because if I'm very honest with you, 24 minutes in, if 4SL has a good fight, with what they have at the moment, they can push high ground, maybe even finish the game as we have it here right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, they can be doing that, but also they have enough right now that they could kind of skate by. Like, they have more than enough damage coming out from Wagamama as well as this Leshrac. They can, in theory, have Bambo doing some damage as well with, you know, any given team fight, pseudo-utility item or whatever, but just having him get these additional items, having him a guaranteed BKB, which is coming up pretty soon, is going to mean that come 30 minutes, their, you know, really dedicated pushing is going to be that much stronger. So, yeah, I think they could probably get away with it either way. This is just the path they decided to take.
So what's happening? At the moment, it just goes systematically from tower to tower. SFC, they try to, throw in something here and there. There's actually another strike here on the Bloodseeker. The ultimate coming out, but his BKB being popped, and now the Spirit Breaker in trouble, but the problem is Wagamama. So much damage right now. Bamboo is going down. Actually, there's the curse on Wagamama. Now we see how tanky he actually is, because the Dazzle is already going down. It's just a matter of time. When he comes back, there's the kill. Wagamama is trying to run away while they get even the Vance Core kill. And now Wagamama, he's still visible, but he's not low enough. And there's also no Bloodseeker to actually give them vision if he was that low.
That is an awkward fight, I suppose. Like, Nether striking a Bloodseeker, I guess, is a decent way to initiate. But they decided to take that fight knowing that ScaryFaceZ are going to reinforce, because what team wouldn't, without Wee. And Wee is, like, one of the tankiest heroes in the game. He's one of the highest damage output heroes in the game. He's one of the most valuable heroes in the game right now for any team. And 4 Clovers decided to go for that anyway. That is definitely, I mean, not the best decision, obviously, but that was a questionable series of plays. Like, they get the Bloodseeker kill, but it costs them heavily, and if Wee was there with his own fresh BKB, ScaryFaceZ, I dare say, don't get any of those kills because they have to run away from this Leshrac.
Yeah, but you saw pretty much what happens if Klinks is actually focused on the, like, a full all-out teamfight situation with a tombstone up and everything. He had to run really fast, so he could just settle for that one kill, the Bloodseeker, which was good, because if the Bloodseeker was still alive, all those targets would have been chased, he would have healed up, and potentially even got the ultimate on Wagamama or anyone else. I think he casted it on Spirit Breaker, I'm not so sure. Either way, that was something they definitely needed. If you look at the graphs at the moment, they were beyond the 7.5 mark in net worth for CL. Now they drop, of course, a bit after that fight. I think it's not the biggest blow for them, but they saw that they can still easily lose a fight if something goes wrong.
And if Egnart's there with the curse, just locking down the Clinks, denying his damage potential, that is, at this point, almost a necessity. Mostly because they only have that stun to work with. So if that doesn't go onto Wagamama, it's not going to be good times. And if it goes onto someone else, and if Wagamama's attacking, that could do a lot of damage. It can very easily get a kill onto someone else, but the only person you want to have do that is on Wee. So very slim pickings here for Egnart, and even slimmer should he get picked off right now. He's going to put a ward down, and well, Wagamama was kind of on the hunt, but didn't really, you know, go fully into the lane. But either way, tower very easily destroyed. Top lane scenario not that great for 4 Clovers there, so they probably just want to wait for this Roshan. Unfortunately for them, pretty much max Roshan respawn time, so they're kind of rolling unlucky with that.
Yep. What we need at the moment, like for, as I've said, I think it's mostly the Phantom Lancer actually finishing his Manta, because you just saw what happened top. He pushed, even with his residual illusions, and the new illusions don't hold for much long, actually, or not very long. So you need the Manta to actually push out the lane. There's a charge on the PL. What is that? I don't think that's a charge you actually go through it. Or is it?
I'm pretty sure that's just a vision charge. They're going to jump in. Actually, Wee's going to blink straight in. They land a stun onto State. Bambo out the BKB. Going right on top of the Zeus, but where's the rest of the team? They're trying to go for Eknar. At least Wee is. Off to the sidelines. Eknar going to go down. Now there's no stuns for Wagamama. Lots of damage onto Ramses, but with the bubble there, they can't go for Quista. They'll kill off State in a couple hits. Now onto Quista they go. If they can find the real one, that is. He's going to disengage cleanly. Lots of illusions, burning a lot of mana in this fight. For Clovers, looks like they are out of stuns right now. They have another Blink Dagger on the Shrek. Maybe they connect with Quista if they're super lucky, but no, it's just going to be Zeus and Winter Wyvern going down. In exchange for 2 fresh BKB charges, all things considered for ScaryFaceZ, that's not really the worst scenario in the world, but they now cannot contest Roshan. So they will be up to defend, but they'll be up to defend up against, kind of devastating odds.
That is very interesting, to be honest. This was such a straightforward fight where SFC had like even high ground vision, like the high ground advantage when it comes to the hits, for example. Some of Wagamama's hits could have potentially missed and prolonged the fight there. But for CL, they were really confident, just going in straightforward, and yeah, nothing really happened. Now PL is being charged at the moment. He does not TP out. Now he TPs out to the mid, and I think, yeah, now that way the charge is completely in vain.
I think a big part of that fight was the fact that we went straight into the Roshan pit searching for the Winter Wyvern. He took him out, and the Clinks also came in honestly pretty late into that fight. Like, Waga wasn't actually doing damage until most of the heroes were already pretty wounded, which is usually not a good thing, but in this scenario, if you keep yourself safe from that curse, then that is exactly what you want. So while getting a free chance to do all of his damage outputs and clean up while being at no danger in his own right, the Spirit Breaker was taking all the damage there, but it's a Spirit Breaker. That's kind of just what he does, especially now that he's getting a little more gold towards what I expect to be an AC. But the Aegis push for 4 Clovers is going to be going straight down the mid lane. And with Waga's damage output, I mean, they could slow siege this all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. They can easily slow siege it. Even Edict range would be nice. Waga just going for the tower. Look at this. This was just 300 tower damage. Now the Edict is coming in. There is no cliff, or they saved the cliff rather for the Rax. And the Edict is keep on working on the next building. But we are taking quite some damage here. They have to go back for a while, just restore. But I think they have earn charges, enough earn charges that is, so they can bring Wee back to full HP and then just keep on working on these buildings.
They have 1 Earn charge left, but they of course have the heal. Someone's in a bubble right now. Blood Rage does go out right now. It's Quista. Waga's going to charge the high ground. Gets cursed immediately. Charged, though, is going to bail him out for most of those illusions with the BKB. He's standing and fighting his ground. He will go down in the end, but Wee's doing all the damage right now. He was the one who actually got the grave, even though he has Aegis. A little bit of a miscue there from the Dazzler, who's going to get punished by State, but Wee is still alive, and he will kill off that Zeus. Swarmed by zombies, however. Him and Bambo are going to move at a slow crawl right now. Wee has no way to get out of this, nor does Bambo. Ramsey's going to come right in, get the kill. Bambo as well. It's a full team wipe, and yeah, I guess Leshrak's going to come right back, but is he actually going to live? Bolted down, Ramses has not that much movement speed, but enough. Wee's going to turn and fight like a man, but that's not going to do it. It's a 1 for 5, and that's because Clinks, I think, just charge the high ground. You don't do that as Clinks.
Yeah, it's a 1 for 2. We had 1 buyback on SFZ, but yeah, it was an amazing fight. To be honest, this is exactly what we saw the entire game, just one tiny little difference. So far, they always focused the tombstone. The second it came up, they always killed it, and they won the fight. Now 4CL was charging into that base. The positioning of the the positioning of the Clinks was a question mark for me. I completely agree with you there. But the biggest difference is the tombstone was standing the entire fight. I have no idea how many zombies were on Wee's butt, but it was a ton, and it's just crazy. You don't go anywhere. You cannot kill them. They slow you. They do tons of damage. And, well, that's Aegis gone, him dying a second time, Bamboo dying, and the others, they died somewhere in those clashes before. And that was all with high BKB charges. I mean, this was a 9 seconds, a 8 seconds BKB, which is now down to 7 and 8, respectively. But, yeah, you see my point? Like, if these BKBs go down, and as I've said, can, like, replicate those fights, I think they're gonna get better and better for them if they do not kill the Tombstone.
Yeah, they just have to hold. 4 Clovers have to kill the Tombstone. They have to not suicide dive with Wagamama. That one should be pretty easy. And also grave the defensive skills, not really on the heroes that they really should be on. You graved a literally full HP Leshrak, and well, it's not really the best decision in the world to go ahead and do that. So EGM maybe, you know, zoned out a little bit by something, the tombstone and whatnot, couldn't get into the perfect position. And granted, you know, that's just gonna happen, but still for 4 Clovers, they just have to make sure to execute these fights a little bit better, and they're going to try to go again. I don't really blame them for this, but man, ScaryFaceZ have shown that they can defend if 4 Clovers don't play the fights perfectly. If they give up another fight or something like that, 4 Clovers will suddenly be looking at a Phantom Lancer who's nearing 6-slot status. Like, Defusal right now, BKB up on him. Quista, still not as big as really ScaryFaceZ need him to be, but if you give Phantom Lancer, you know, a couple of kills, a couple of one-team fights, suddenly he has a match style, suddenly he has, what, Butterfly, Heart, any of these big items, Scotty, something like that, then what are you going to do about him from there on out? You can't do anything about him.
No, not much. So 23 and 19. This high ground attack was, well, not the best. They actually lost quite some fun, but now what's actually happening here? Wenscore, the vision was not there. Eknot was just about to cast his Winter's Curse, holding him in place. That would have been something, because it's a 5-on-3 situation with Dazzler actually being far away, and with Sexy Bamboo even further away. Even with a charge level 4, it would have taken him at, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 seconds, something to get to this fight. Interesting positioning for SFZ, but it doesn't work out. So what's the next step now for 4CL? I mean, their time is not really running out. I think the chances are still good for both teams, but I think the earlier they get a Rax or 2, of course, the easier it will be for them to keep that pressure up on the base.
Right now, 4 Clovers can still team fight, like they could still actually take a full 5-on-5 fight and come out ahead. Soon it's going to come to a point where they just can't do that since Phantom Lancer is too big, then they have to rely on pickoffs. And with the Clinks, relying on pickoffs is not exactly a bad thing since it's very easy, or, you know, relatively easy to get those picks, especially with the Clinks and a Spirit Breaker, but they would much rather not be in that sort of position if they can avoid it. Getting Raxes means that they will, for the most part, avoid that scenario. So, yeah, I mean, right now, ScaryFaceZ, they're scared as well as they should be. Roshan is, I believe, going to be a pretty long respawn as well. Something like 5 minutes, it said. When
yeah, both of them, by the way. Yeah, both the Roshans were really, really long respawns, which is kind of playing against 4CL.
The game is favoring ScaryFaceZ. Biased game.
Yeah, definitely. Report game. 3-2. Anyway, we have a smoke situation right now. As I said, they look for something, anything. And to be honest, the direction they go at the moment, it's not the closest to find a kill, but it's a good position because finding the Spirit Breaker, finding the Dazzle, that's definitely nice. Or maybe even finding Venscore. Problem is, Venscore can survive quite a long time. And there is still a tier 1 tower in the mid, but for now, they find Wee. There's the curse. They already jump on him. There will be the silence, so he does not go down at the moment. But look at all the damage still on him. Oh, Jesus, Mike, where is this one going? It's just Venscore?
Oh, Venscore, Clinks picks off the Undying. They get a bash into state. Sexy Bambo is going to take the Zeus out by himself. Waga under no pressure right now. He gets a double kill for himself. Bambo has another charge in 3 seconds, but they do not get the Leshrac. The BKB, the pipe on him, I guess BKB and pipe kind of redundant there, but all those survivability tools being thrown to Leshrac, and Venscore also drawing a lot of attention. I don't know, like, why you would decide to go for a Shadow Demon when you can go for a Leshrac. Seems kind of suspect to me, but either way, ScaryFaceZ, they find a pretty free pick, honestly. That should have been a kill, but Leshrac's tankiness, I think, just getting the better of them. And now 45 seconds with no Zeus, no PL, and Wagamon packing a Daedalus. Eknart is actually, like, in danger of getting 2-shot right now, not even joking. And with a Fortify, I don't know if this is going to work out. They only have 2 heroes alive right now. Third is coming up. And there goes my dog. But Bambo and Waga, they're going to take out the melee. They're going to take out the ranged. Eknart, Aramzes, they can do nothing but watch. It's going to be a clean retreat and maybe even go for a little bit more. Still 20 seconds are on the clock until ScaryFaceZ are back up at their full potential. And that's 20 seconds of, you know, just wrecking ball time for Waga. This tower not even going to... Actually, no, Wee's going to jump right into Ramses. BKB gets forced on the Bloodseeker right now. Silent Circle onto all 5, but he gets another struck in the process. Bashed as well. Gets healed up by Eknart, and the Tombstone is on the ground right now. Sexy Bambo, though, going to clean this engage from that one. Wee now popping the BKB, straight TPing out. Should be A-okay. The tower has gone down. Rax is still alive, and now the zombies are charging forward. Looking for someone. It's going to be Venscore first. A couple shots to kill him off. Now onto EGM, they'll go. He's also probably going to die right now, but it's only 2 supports, honestly. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, the 2 supports for what they just achieved. I mean, this is a tower plus 2 racks. It's easy going, while bottom even is pushing on a tier 3 tower. For that, just 2 supports, a trade you can easily do. So As I've said, they got exactly what they deserve pretty much after giving that Wii kill away and having such a dirty fight around that tier 1 tower, which is, by the way, still standing. 37 minutes into the game, and the tier 1 tower and mid is still standing, which was for me also the question mark when they smoked, because I was just about to say, oh my god, they're gonna go for the tier 1 tower where everybody can just TP to. They paid for it, and now 38 minutes into it, they lost the first tracks. It's not the end of the world, but the problem is for CL, they have now advantage that is quite significant. That's almost 15k. Even with these 2 supports dying, this is still a climbing graph at the end. The bottom line is, I think they sack them pretty fast soon.
Oh, and Eknart, he has a gem, so he's not going to get jumped by Waga, but still in a really bad position. Wee's going to jump forward, trying to cancel that blink with Shiva's. Going to fall a little bit short there. Roshan's still not going to be up just yet, so 4 Clovers have to wait patiently for that one, but they do have a pretty big item pickup. In this game, more so than others, Lotus Orb on the Spirit Breaker. You put that one on the Leshrac or on the Clinks. Those are the clear targets for ScaryFaceZ, and best case scenario, Winter Wyvern curses himself, and then like Phantom Lancer kills the Wyvern. Obviously, that's not going to happen all the time, but also you're reflecting, you know, stuff like Rupture, stuff like Soul Rip, the Zeus's package as well. This is an item that can potentially just destroy the ScaryFaceZ side if they're not super careful.
Yeah, well, the biggest problem is really the Clinks at this point for the PL. You saw the PL. He was so convinced that he's gonna survive and everything, but Wagamama in the last fight, for example, he found the right target. Then he's critting on a PL for more than 900 at the moment, which is absolutely sick, and this was even without any amplifiers. But now, another smoke. They might find here Wagamama. Where's the Winter's Curse? There's the vision on it. There's the Winter's Curse, and I should get an easy kill by Venskor. It's just interrupting this. There's the disruption. Wagamama is finally going down. Venskor is probably, yeah, going down as well. He was just too close. Too many zombies. There was still a charge, but nobody's actually committing to it. So finally, as I've said, they find something. Wii is pushing in the mid, but to be honest, they might get circled around here. There's a rotation on that tier 1 tower, the Dazzle, actually. What is happening at the moment? They're like on 4 sides. There's a charge on the PL. Oh my goodness.
Bambo,
this is bad.
17%, gets 1 bash right now, has EGM to help him out, but he's out of mana. And stays here as well, gets the bolt reflected to him. That's a little bit unfortunate, but Bambo's going to survive, no big deal. Clinks actually buys back. That is kind of weird, but we do have Wii killing off the base of ScaryFaceZ in the meantime. We'll kill off Eknart with the Pulse Nova, can grab a gem. He already has a gem. There's nothing he wants to drop, so he has to leave that one to the enemies. But still, they kill off towers and structures, and yeah, that's a well-played tactic by Quista, just trying to distract 4 Clovers away from the main, from what they have to be focusing on. But still, Wii is, you know, he has his eyes on the prize.
Okay, I did not expect this one, to be honest. With all my eyes on pretty much the PL action there, I thought something is actually happening. But we taking that top racks, now they're going into Roshan, like, that is absolutely amazingly played by 4CL, because I think that just sealed the deal. This completely sealed the deal. Now top is pushing in, mid is already pushing in, bottom is ready to take. We have still 2 heroes on the sidelines. The PL, well, he is there to defend, but he's still not the tankiest one. We just saw a one-on-one fight, Bamboo versus PL, and that didn't look too good. So yeah, I think they're gonna finish it right here, unless SF pulls. Amazing fight.
No creep wave, no problem. Venskor is going to charge forward, looking for a disruption, finds it onto someone. It's going to be Shadowy, and that's not really going to be super relevant, but Waga already taking down the first tower, or I guess the 3rd tower, since they're tier 3s, and they're going to back off, because why risk anything? Everyone from ScaryFaceZ is back. No sense putting yourself at risk. They, I guess, still have Cheese and Aegis, so they're going to eventually rearm and go for round 2, but at least give Clinks enough time to refresh his Death Pact, guys. There we go. Waga's going to eat a Centaur, and now he's hitting for 300, yeah, so we have 350, 400 without minus armor and crit, so that's like 500 damage a pop without crits, at least.
And without Soul Catcher and everything,
yeah.
So yeah.
It's a lot of damage, and this courier might be the first one to feel it.
Oh,
I think Waga
Jesus.
saw it. Oh, rip.
There's an Assault Cuirass recipe on it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ramses, that is unfortunate to say the least. Plate mail is all he wanted, man. Stupid plate mail. Gotta go so far for that shit. I mean, the Assault Cuirass is nice. I don't really think it's gonna be a huge swing item, but still, you'd rather have it than not have it. And now 4 Clovers is going to swiftly backdoor the range racks. Charge is coming in. Will be blocked. Bambo instead going to go for state. Charging is there. He's gonna get another struck as well, but Steak gonna slip away. They go for Ramses instead, and they will kill him off. The curse being used on Weegan, dropping down to half HP, but he has a cheese, he doesn't care. And also Shiva's guard keeping him alive with no clinks there. He doesn't really have much to fear. Waga's gonna lose the Aegis down towards bottom, and he's swarmed with heroes right now, but Wee's here with Split Earth and the Pulse Nova turned on. Tombstone's still alive. They'll kill off the clinks, has no buyback, but Wee's still doing his damage output right now. Quiston and Ramses right into Bambo. They'll go try to bring him down. Wee's still just walking around, has cheese, will use it right now. Pulse Nova still ticking, gets a stun into Shadowy. Lightning and pulses everywhere from Wee, and he's not taking enough damage. He's gonna raise everyone. He will go down in the end, but commits suicide. Rax is still standing, but the base is kind of in tatters right now. GG has been called by Eknart, so yeah, you don't even need Megas to win the game. It's gonna be 4 Clovers taking game 1.
I think my favorite was still Wensko. I think Wensko was already like, guys, we won this, everything's fine. He got the rupture in the top lane, and then suddenly you shifted your camera already to the bottom lane because all the action was there, but I was still on the top lane, and he was like, yeah, let's go for a walk and everything's fine. But he had the rupture on him. He lost like 90% of his HP and noticed at like 30 HP that, oh my god, something is eating my HP, and it was a rupture. I think that was like the little joke at the end of the game. Anyway, 4CL, nice game by them. I did not expect the Clinks having such an impact, but of course with those crits and everything, easy going.
Is this time to use our new fancy technology, or are we just gonna go straight into game 2?
Well, you probably missed it anyway, so let's just go
straight to game 2.
Yeah.
I'll do it next time. It's too new, it's too flashy. You guys will see it eventually, guys. This is game 1. 4 Clovers gonna grab this one. Best of 3, of course, so ScaryFaceZ have 2 more chances. And even if they lose, lower bracket is not really the worst place to be, considering this is winner bracket finals. I'm Mike Lewis. I've been joined by HeflaTV, and we'll be right back for game 2.